EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Jackson looking to throw on third. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jake Ryan able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go. 10-2 start. 54. Right 54. Too little, to go.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Ready? 50, plant. Check, 59. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo! Defense.
Throwing on first down. Scott. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now this throw caught left side. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
It also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Now Montgomery running right. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A 14-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the gun, Jackson over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
To throw is Scott. To throw on 2nd down. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Scott operating from the gun. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Grant. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Scott from the gun, he'll throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Back to throw. Scott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq tops it, making his presence felt on the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. Scott. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Scott, operating from the gun. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. McCaffrey, he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Mike's 47. Mike's check 26. Check 26.
This is McCaffrey. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now Jackson. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Cameron Jordan has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
25. Check 25. Check 25.
Now it's Jackson. He gets it to Thomas. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jake Ryan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean.
And the pressure gets to him again. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 9-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, check.
Scott now, off play action. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go. Shoot.
Murray. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Y'all playing the wrong football.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime in Orlando, Coach will have stats around the NFL. Nowhere to it. Brian Burns in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the 19 on the year. Here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Go.
To throw is Scott. From the gun, he'll throw. That will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position.
Mike, 27. You got nothing today. You got nothing.
Now Jackson on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Check three, check three. Alert three, alert three. Alert three. Joker, 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 joker.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And Thomas has it. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
It's just me and you.
And Jackson throwing once more. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Throwing is Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete in the end zone. It's 3rd down and goal.
The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal.
Five down, stand up there.
To throw is Jackson. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0 as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check right, check right.
Back to throw. Scott. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Luke Kuechly. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Scott off the play fake. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Dante Hightower make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Sam off. Safety creep.
Operating from the gun. Scott under pressure again, and down he goes again. Brian Burns, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jamario Davis. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Offensively, when you see cover two, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, New Orleans. Corey Grant, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off right around the 43. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They go back to Grant, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
10-2 stop. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Scott operating from the gun. Looking long for Thomas. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they've got to be careful of taking care of the football and not turning it over for the defense to score additional points.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
47's the mic, boy. 47. Check, 47. Watch the 66. Pull it. Half. The screen. Watch the screen. Watch on truck. Check.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he will find his man on the outside. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Let's get it.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
First down,
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Check. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. Get this. You're all mine.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got his target. That's more. And he's out right at the 25. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Jackson on first down. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Right there, 56. Here we go.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson to the right side and complete to Thomas. 7 yards there and a first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Jackson now. And he's got the hook up to Moore. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. The Panthers on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Jackson. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
I got you, boy.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
SOS. Sling. 22, Jet, Bama. 22, Jet, Bama.
Jackson to throw on third down. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Not today, you are. Not today. No. Ringo. Go. 47, Mike. 47. That's Fox. Mike 47. Check Mike 47. Get in the weight room.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Now a run with McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
Check 47. Watch QB draw.
Jackson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Blake Jarwin, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
3rd and goal, Jackson. He may try, and he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Panthers are able to cut into this lead. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
1st down. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
You can't block it.
This is Grant. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and that takes us from second to third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Scott. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
Here we go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone, and with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays, eat up chunks of yardage, and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Go. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a second down. Now it's Jackson. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Shit. Undercut.
Play action. Now Jackson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So if we'll recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally, because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could add to your stats.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Cut. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Watch out. Set up.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
Check nine. Wide. Get wide.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, but it's going to be second down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them, because just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And the Saints are going to get to this one, so that should about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And Charles, I think when the schedule